Hi, this is Burr Stewart. In today's episode of Much Fun with Trains, we're just going to concentrate on the anatomy of one switching move. Now, there are various weird things about it, but that's okay. We'll just get right into it. Now, as you see here, we're in the Delta Yard on my HO scale model railroad of the Burlington Northern in 1973, and we're about to have a bang. Here it is in close-up. Bang! Now, the reason for this is because this one Burlington Northern boxcar is sitting on the siding in Delta Yard and needs to get pulled out of the way. It is headed for the East Coast and will be added to some other cars in the track next to it that are also billed to go to the East Coast, or at least to Chicago anyway. You can see me on the right there using my Hammerhead NCE throttle to control the action. And you can see my fingers flicking the switches. Here comes the second bang. You ready for it? Bang! Now we have to uncouple that car, and that clears the way for us to use the siding. What? Oh my goodness. So while I was trying to concentrate on this single switching maneuver, here comes Dave's now famous long train of empty well cars. How about that? Pulled by 3 new Atlas -8 40 BWs. Now, the last time you saw this, it was just 20 of them or so, and then we added the ones that I had in my collection, and now we have a 43-car train of empty well cars. Now, meanwhile, you'll notice our 2 switchers over on the left are about to bang. Now, that's because we needed to pull the Southern Pacific boxcar out of that track and spot it at the Weyerhaeuser Mill B, which is behind us in this view. But meanwhile, I wanted to let you enjoy that empty well car train. Isn't that a long train? Now, I made a mistake in my previous video of calling these bear tables. Technically, if you're a railroader, a bear table is a 89-foot flat car without anything on it, which does look like a table. These are well cars, and they don't call a train of empty well cars bear tables. That was my mistake. Bang! Now, if you look in the distance, you can see the train we just saw passing on the other side of the peninsula. And I'll zero in on that spot so you can see it a little better. While I also sped up the action so we don't have to wait for every single detail of this switching. See, the engines just went by in the far distance there? It's fun to see these things on these different views of the railroad. So now we have our Southern Pacific boxcar pulled out, and the only reason we're stopping there is because we don't want to do any more work than necessary. See, we just put it on the siding. We've got to get rid of these other cars that we're not spotting at the Weyerhaeuser Mill, so we're just going to put them back. Like I said, I sped this video up 4 times so that we don't have to watch it in every minute detail, except we have to see every bang. Bang! So I did stop it to regular speed for that. And of course, now we're going to uncouple our switchers from that cut. And if you see that boxcar that we're going to be spotting, here's the car card for it. It shows Weyerhaeuser Mill B and 2563, which is the spins number for it. So that's how we know that this boxcar goes there. And the other thing that's a little odd about this is that these 2 switchers are new Rapido Milwaukee GE 44-tonners that I'm just breaking in. But on the prototype, these switchers would not have the capability of multiple unit operation like this. We've got them connected together just for breaking them in. Bang! That's the best part about switching projects, is you get to have lots of bangs. Anyway, these two switchers would not normally run together like this, and I apologize to those of you who find that a little unrealistic. This is a cool shot where you can see the train going by the other cars in the yard from two different angles. So now if we turn the camera around and follow, we'll do a little bit more anatomy of switching, as I'm calling it. So I overshot the crossover here. The Weyerhaeuser Mill B is in the background there. I put an arrow on there for you. And we overshot the crossover, but one of the mistakes that model railroaders make is not waiting long enough for the crew to get out and flip the switch on the ground. So in this case, the crew has gotten off the boxcar, they flipped that one switch, and now they're flipping the other one. Now to get to that other one, they would have had to walk down there. And the prototype, you probably would have let the switchman ride on the boxcar down to that other switch and then flip the points. But in this case, we did them together. And you see this main track that we're on now also has its switch that needs to be reset. So we're going to come to a stop here so the brakeman can get off. This is what model railroaders don't do enough. Now the brakeman flipped the switch and got back on the boxcar so he can do the job necessary to couple up to the other car that's on the track where we're spotting. You'll see that in a minute. Another feature I've been meaning to mention is you'll notice that the headlight, oh look, there's another switch that we had to stop for and get off. Now we're lined for the actual switch that we're supposed to spot the car at. But you'll notice that the headlights are directional headlights, so if it's in reverse, it's going to shine on us. If it's forward, it shines the other way. Get ready. Bang! So now we've coupled up to the other car that was on this siding. Hopefully there was nobody working in that car to load it. And when I finish uncoupling there, you can see I put the engine in reverse and now we're pulling out, and you can see from the headlight. Now, on a real railroad, you wouldn't keep flipping the headlight back and forth like that. So for all of my engines, I have the headlight set to F0 and the reverse light set to F4. And I turn them on and leave them on, if that's what we're doing. But these two engines are just being broken in, so I haven't had time to really fuss.
Okay, much fun with trains.
Here you see I slowed down so the brakeman could get off and reposition that turnout. And in theory, we would do that with every other switch that we came to. But in practice, this has been a long enough video, so I'm just going to park these engines and say that was a quick anatomy of a switching job for just spotting one car. And I hope you've enjoyed it, got something out of it, and you'll look at all the other switching moves that are on my channel, of which there are many. And for now, this is Burr Stewart wishing you much fun with trains.